Chapter 27. Tom was getting much stronger. He could stay longer with his loves and even influence the dreams they had. Harry loved it. Being with Tom more, and even when he was in class, Tom would talk to him. Severus was collecting information on the potion needed to bring the Dark Lord back to life. Even though Severus was dark, he went to the light to protect Harry. Even with his memories of Harry being his son were blocked, he still protected the boy and hated him for being a reminder that his lover left him for his best friend. Lucius was sitting with Draco when Harry came in the room with the biggest smile on his face. "I found Papa's prank book." He held out a leather-bound book that was bursting at the seams. "I went to my vault with Remus. We were looking to see if anything significant had gone missing or if Dumbledore had even been in my vaults. Remus could smell if he had been. We went to this trunk that was Papa's from school, and we found the book." Harry pulled Draco closer as the two looked through the book. They saw a picture on page 1 full of love notes. "Father, it looks like you." Draco showed the picture to his father. "It is. We had just found out that Severus was going towards his potion mastery, and James was so excited he begged Lily to take a picture of us. He was always like that. James was full of life. He was full of energy, always running around. I can't tell you how many times he ran into a suit of armor, all because he couldn't slow down." Lucius was living in the memories of James. The picture was of James, Severus, and Lucius. They were in the Slytherin dorms. Severus was in the middle, getting hugged by both James and Lucius. It hurt to look at. James was smiling, and it brought back too many memories. James always had a smile on his face. He was always happy, always there with a smile, a hug, or even a better kiss. Your Papa would greet us with a kiss every time he saw us. Severus was even embarrassed at first, but he loved it. James was an expert at sneaking into the Slytherin dorms. Soon the portrait just let James in. He knew that James was there to see us, and the portrait let him in. When we were in our last year, Dumbledore tried to make it against the rules for a Gryffindor or Slytherin to go into each other's dorms. But James never listened. Neither did Sirius. When I graduated, James and Severus cried. They had to go through one whole school year without me. Severus wanted to sneak me in with his trunk, and James wanted to use his cloak to sneak me into the castle. Remus just reminded them that they could use the Shrieking Shack. He had Finrod to take him away during the full moon, and had no use for the shack anymore. We used that for meetings while they were in their 7th year. I missed them during the day. I went from being with them every day to only a few days a week, and it was hell. James and Severus fixed the place up. There was a king-size bed, a nice sitting area, and a wardrobe full of clothes we hardly used. James and Severus made their nests every heat. We spent a lot of time there. It was where we thought up baby names and made plans for the future. James made plans to teach our children Quidditch, and Severus said he would teach them to be the best potion makers. I wanted our children to be happy and serve the Dark Lord better than anyone else. Lucius kissed the top of Harry and Draco's head. "You both turned out better than we dreamed, and even though you don't share a bearer, you are closer than any brothers I have ever met." Draco and Harry hugged their father and listened as he told them more about James. It was during this that Severus walked in and saw that his sons were hanging on every word. James was someone Severus and Lucius wished the boys could have met. Severus remembered the secret he had kept from his mates, and it hurt to hear Lucius tell them all about how much James would have loved to have had another sibling for Draco and Harry. Dumbledore had done damage the night Severus refused to spy for him, and it showed that the Light Lord wasn't as light as he portrayed. "It's time, boys." Both Harry and Draco begged to stay longer. They loved being at Prince Manor. It was where James had been. It was the place that held the most memories of the man and showed evidence of a happy family. "I know, but we will return next weekend, and then the Dark Lord will rise." Severus saw Harry brighten at the mention of Tom's rising. "I can't wait to be with him in person." Harry said dreamily, as even his cat tail and ears showed the truth of the statements. Sirius had to stay at school because Dumbledore was heightening the patrols of the school grounds. He sensed that Tom would rise again and might use the tournament as a way to get Harry alone. Sirius trusted that Harry was safe with the Snape Potter Malfoys. I wish Tom were here now. Harry wondered what it would be like to see Tom every day, to walk into his study and surprise him like he saw Dad do to Father. Sirius and Harry stayed together in his office some nights and planned what to do with Tom upon his return. Sirius! Harry threw himself at his mate and got kisses from the man. Albus has us watching Karkaroff very closely, and we have to make sure he doesn't get near the trophy. They knew that there was only one reason why Albus wouldn't let the man near the trophy. Igor Karkaroff was well known for being able to sense a portkey, and the trophy was a portkey to a different location. Ginny was trying to get into the Slytherin dorms by flirting. She was flirting badly with Blaise, who laughed as soon as the door closed. Pansy saw Hermione trying to flirt with Crumb, who blew her off to snog Charlie. Fleur and Bill went with Arthur and Percy. Gabrielle was brought home by her parents for having a cold. Fred and George have been kicked out by Molly, and Arthur is being yelled at by the woman. Percy has been kicked out for being pregnant, and Molly hates most of us. Sirius was kissed by Harry, who then started to curse Molly. Language, pup. Do I need to spank you? Harry blushed, and Sirius knew that it might be necessary to mention this to Tom. Draco! The twins scooped up their mate and then locked themselves in their dorm room. I am going to grade papers. You two behave. Severus glared at Sirius before going to his office. I missed you, and you owe me some cuddle time, Harry said and dragged Sirius to their room. Luna was sitting in an abandoned classroom, waiting for Pansy to show up. For the last time, I am not going on a date with you. Pansy locked the door behind her and set up privacy spells. I hate men. They never take no for an answer, she huffed, and then kissed Luna. I love you, Luna said, and Pansy kissed her again. I love you too, my little moon. Pansy and Luna spent a lot of time in the office and did what any hormonal teenager would do, and for their first time it was impressive. Luna was a moaning mess, and Pansy loved making Luna scream her name. I love you, Luna said as they lay next to each other on a transfigured bed. Neville and Blaise were in the library studying, and a Hufflepuff came over. Could you help me find this book? She held out a piece of parchment with a book on herbology written on it. Sure, it's in that section over there, Blaise pointed, and the girl looked angry. I looked, but maybe you could help me find it? Neville was about ready to kill this girl. Was she blind? Neville was practically in Blaise's lap. Sorry, if you can't find it, you should ask Madam Pince. Maybe someone borrowed it. Blaise didn't see the girl's anger, but Neville did, and he did what anyone in his situation would do. Accio book. The book flew out of the girl's bag and into Neville's hand. Looks like you already had the book, and that is why you couldn't find it. Blaise smiled into his hand and then took Neville's hand. We should get going. Harry might need these spells for the next task. Blaise and Neville got looks of awe from some of the first years. Harry's friends were the only ones allowed to help him or talk to him now. Some Gryffindors tried to hurt Harry, and Professor Malfoy and Professor Snape gave them detention with Filch because Dumbledore wouldn't let them be expelled. You're friends with Harry Potter? The Hufflepuff girls were gold diggers and blind. Harry was gay. Yes, we need to go. Neville pushed past them, but Blaise was trapped. We can help you. We know loads of defensive spells. One of them tried to touch Blaise, and hell no. Blaise, can we go now? Neville asked, and the girls sneered at him. Darling, if you want to. Blaise took Neville's hand, and they went back to the common room, where Blaise was kissed senseless by Neville. Most of the girls in school saw rich, handsome purebloods and tried to date them. One girl tried to claim that one got her pregnant, which was disproved. Slytherins weren't as bad, but Hufflepuffs and Gryffindors, they were the worst. Many girls liked Harry, Draco, and Blaise because they had money, and many boys were after Pansy because she was rich and well known. Not many people looked at Neville Longbottom. He wasn't special enough for them. They thought he was too weak to be of any use. I think we should go lay down and finish this. Blaise was extremely turned on by Neville being possessive, and even though Blaise was the top, it was sexy the way Neville took control sometimes and killed someone with a look. Whatever you want. Neville was panting for breath. Blaise was kissing his neck, and it was turning Neville on even more. Well, we might not leave the room. Neville liked the idea of staying in bed for the rest of the day. Only you can make my hair look nice and not like a rat's nest. Sirius kissed Harry and placed the glamours on Harry's cat ears, tail, and the nice little love bites all over his neck. They hadn't done more, all because Harry wanted to wait on their mating for Tom to be there. Well, I washed your hair with one of my shampoos and conditioning potions. Sirius was a total drama queen, and if his hair looked bad, he would go crazy. Being in Azkaban had ruined most of his hair. Harry and Sirius went to Severus's rooms and saw their own little group. It was like their own inner circle, and Harry called it that, and no one wanted to correct him. Today you have to fight the final task. We will help you three as much as we are able, Severus said before helping them work out the strategies. After an hour, they left the rooms and headed to the Great Hall for lunch. Only you can make my hair look nice and not like a rat's nest. Sirius kissed Harry and placed the glamours on Harry's cat ears, tail, and the nice little love bites all over his neck. They hadn't done more, all because Harry wanted to wait on their mating for Tom to be there. Well, I washed your hair with one of my shampoos and conditioning potions. Sirius was a total drama queen, and if his hair looked bad, he would go crazy. Being in Azkaban had ruined most of his hair. Harry and Sirius went to Severus's rooms and saw their own little group. It was like their own inner circle, and Harry called it that, and no one wanted to correct him. Today you have to fight the final task. We will help you three as much as we are able, Severus said before helping them work out the strategies. After an hour, they left the rooms and headed to the Great Hall for lunch. The task was that night, and that was when they would be forced to go down to the maze and fight for their lives.